We are about 2 days late, but it's time for some breakfast. We're making a quick stop here at the laundromat to get change so we can go home and do laundry there. But we do have some, honestly, I'm pretty excited about it, some exciting new research to talk about regarding Pokemon Go. And today it has to do with rarity, spawn rates, how hard it is to find certain Pokemon. If you remember from a couple weeks ago, there was some research done by the Silph Road that suggested that eggs have rarity tiers, with each tier being twice as rare as the one below it. So you'd have a common tier, uncommon, rare, and then ultra rare. That research from the Silph Road showed that for every one ultra rare egg that you hatch, you would, in theory, hatch 2 rare eggs, 4 uncommon eggs, and 8 common eggs. And some new research from a Redditor named Jiro7 shows that wild Pokemon might fall into similar rarity tiers. Speaking of rare, check it out. A Mareep down the street. Yep. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about Mareep's rarity. We're not going to be talking about that
today, Junior?
Oh, time to walk a little faster. It's fleeing, but it's right up here. No, here. This one? Yeah. Oh, that's super close. Okay. So, as we sprint towards this Mareep, let's talk about this research. Jiro, or Hiro, I don't know, he's from Spain, could be pronounced that way, used a heat map that showed spawns for certain Pokemon in his city, in Madrid, over the last week. Come on, where is this Mareep? Oh my god. What kind of wicked game is this? There it is. Woo. Scared me. Alright, 538's kind of big, but I'm going for it. I need these candies. Jiro's heat map showed correlations between certain Pokemon spawns. As we've seen in the past, we know that certain common Pokemon are usually indicators of a certain rare Pokemon that'll also spawn in that biome. For example, the mountain biome, Clefairy, you can often find Dragonite spawning there. 97 candies. 98 candies. Unfortunately, we don't know the Mareep biome just yet. It seems to spawn in a lot of different biomes, but desert biome is something that's commonly reported for Mareep, which, you know, I'm in. Take a look. Rhyhorn, Sandshrew, Ekans. It's a desert biome. So far, I haven't really told you anything new. We already know that, you know, certain Pokemon spawn together in biomes. The interesting part, the new part of the research, is that there's a correlation in the spawn rates between those Pokemon. Alright, let's talk numbers. So just to review, the latest theory, the research suggests that for eggs, there are 4 rarity tiers, each one twice as rare as the one that comes before it. Now, it's looking like there might be similar rarity tiers for wild Pokemon, but more than 4. From Jiro's research, from the heat maps, he saw that Teddiursa, Stantler, Ursaring, and Snorlax all spawn in the same areas throughout the city. So after seeing that correlation, he decided to look at the actual numbers and found that they sort of fit into that tiered rarity system, although not at 1, 2, 4, 8. It's actually a much wider discrepancy than that. The actual numbers of these Pokemon that spawned within a week, I think, is the time frame that we're looking at. There were 41 wild Snorlax, 327 wild Ursaring, 773 wild Stantler, and 11,023 wild Teddiursas. And remember, those are all spawning in the same areas of the city. Now, if you take those numbers and reduce them down, this is what you end up with. For every 1 Snorlax, there were 8 Ursaring, 16 Stantler, and 256 Teddiursa. Now that works out to 4 different rarity tiers that we're seeing here, but it actually allows for 9 different rarity tiers. So you have ultra rares like Snorlax that are spawning at a rate of 1 per, let's just say, hour. Then you have the next tier above that that's going to spawn 2 per hour, 4 per hour, 8 per hour, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, which is where Teddiursa is. Now obviously there are going to be other Pokemon spawning in this specific biome that might fit into the tiers that don't currently have a Pokemon in them, but it's interesting to see that these Pokemon sort of fit into that tiered rarity system that we've seen in the past with eggs. After finding these correlations, he decided to look at another Pokemon, Larvitar, to find out if there were any correlations between Larvitar and other Pokemon spawning. And what he found using the same heat map is that there's sort of a rock biome that Larvitar probably exists in. Now, a rock biome is different than the mountain biome that we already know exists, that includes Pokemon like Clefairy, and of course the much rarer Dragonite. And since Gen 2 was introduced, Phanpy also exists in that mountain biome. So if you take a look at the heat maps, he found correlations between Clefairy and Phanpy. But those don't line up with other rock-type Pokemon. So here we have Rhydon, we have Graveler, and Larvitar. Obviously, those 3 Pokemon are all spawning in very similar areas around the city. Now again, looking at all those rock-type Pokemon, they fit into the tiered rarity system, although this time it's a much bigger range than even the first time. So the most common Pokemon in the rock biome is Geodude. Half as common as Geodude is Rhyhorn, and we skip 2, jump down to Shuckle, then you have Graveler and Onix, Larvitar and Rhydon, Golem and Aerodactyl, Pupitar, and finally Tyranitar. So looking at this is to say that for every 1 wild Tyranitar that spawns, 32,768 wild Geodude will spawn. And that might sound a little bit crazy, but think about it. How many of you have actually seen a wild Tyranitar? Now, if you want to break it down and divide these, if you divide Geodude's rarity, 32,768, by 256, that's Larvitar's rarity, essentially what it's saying is that for every 1 Larvitar, 128 Geodude will spawn. And that seems pretty reasonable. These rarity tiers are also saying that Rhydon is equally as rare as Larvitar, that Golem and Aerodactyl are 4 times as rare as either of those, that Pupitar, again, is 4 times as rare as Golem or Aerodactyl, and that Tyranitar is now 16 times rarer than Pupitar. Now again, more Pokemon probably exist within these biomes, but these are the ones that show clear correlations from this research. I definitely think it's interesting. I think there's something to it. I think it's something that we can continue to follow up on. It'll be interesting to conduct similar research for other biomes that we know other rare Pokemon spawn in, and see if we can find what the actual spawn rates are for some of those rarer Pokemon. But this data that I've shared today that Jiro found should at least give you an indication of where to look if you're trying to find Pokemon like Snorlax or Larvitar and its evolutions. And if you want to learn where other rare Pokemon spawn, you can watch the suggested video up here where I go over some of the correlated spawns in biomes for other rare Pokemon. But I think the main takeaway today should be, don't feel bad if you haven't found a wild Tyranitar. Until you have 32,768 Geodudes seen in your Pokedex, you can't reasonably expect to have encountered a wild Tyranitar. Now, I would love to go outside and try to take a little bit of advantage of the grass event, but it's raining. It's actually raining. So I think instead what we'll do for the rest of this video, unless it stops raining somehow, is try to make a dent in this mail. This is nowhere near all of it. I actually still have some in the back of the car that I couldn't bring up in one trip. So I'm gonna try to do a little bit of mail every day for the next few days, just to try to catch up, because I was already behind when I left. I'm even further behind now. Look at this. Cassie?
What? This is so cute.
What are those? There actually wasn't a note with that one, but thank you, Matthew. The fidget spinner. Dear Nick, hope you like your fidget. Yep, Jake from State Farm again. Thanks, Jake. Funny story, when we were eating lunch just now. This kid had a fidget spinner, knocked over a bowl of salsa, broke the dish, spilled the salsa everywhere. His mom grabbed the fidget spinner away from him. She was pissed. Now it's my turn. Thanks, Jake. Oh wait, this one's for Chance. I can't open this yet. It's a giant Pikachu. Oh my god, it's so soft. There's no note with this one either. Where is it from? China. Well, whoever ordered this Pikachu and sent it here, thank you. Sealed with medical tape. Hi Nick, I'm sending you a taste of Scotland. Don't worry, no haggis. Looking forward to seeing your eventual European trip. Thanks, Colin. Hold on. Caramel wafer biscuits? Sounds a little bit like a stroopwafel. Actually, I think it looks like a Twix. Nope, that's wafer. That's good. Thanks, Colin. My boyfriend and I have been longtime watchers since the game had started. We watch your videos daily and appreciate all the help and information you've given along with your vlogs. This is for you. I designed and created this backpack for Cassie because I really love all the hard work and passion you put into the channel. I have an Etsy store where I sell the rest of my handbag designs on the attached cards. P.S. Boyfriend wants to know what shoe size you are and if you prefer lace-ups or slip-ons. I'm a 9.5. I haven't worn slip-ons in a while.
I'm 5.5. I would like to have, I don't know, both. Oh my god! So cute!
Yeah, I'm sure they love the back of it. Check it out. I guess that's gonna be it for mail for today. In case it doesn't stop raining, this might be the end of the episode. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope some people out there are excited about some new research going on in Pokemon Go. And regardless of whether you enjoyed it or not, thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.